Hey everyone, look on the screen. Hope you are doing well. This is unbelievable. This is going to be part A. Man spends 22 years working to pay off his home valued at $800,000, only to find out it's been auctioned. Being auctioned off to a trust for $5,000. Let's take a look at this. Be part A. Stick around, please, for part B, which will be a separate video for the commentary. Unbelievable.
It's rough. It's tough. I cannot eat. I cannot drink. I cannot sleep.
A homeowner spends decades paying off his mortgage only to suddenly find out his home has been sold in an auction without his knowledge. So how could this happen? It's a 7 on Your Side investigation. And good evening to you at 6 o'clock on Liz's show. Bill is off tonight. We are going to begin with that stunning story of a man fighting to keep his home. He worked for 22 years to pay off the mortgage on his home in Brooklyn, only to find out that it was auctioned off. He had been paying his water bill, but it turns out there was an old bill he never knew about. But the city sold the debt to a private investor who then sold his $800,000 home at an auction. And thousands of New Yorkers could be at risk of the very same thing. Investigative reporter Dan Krath is here now with the exclusive report. Dan.
Liz, the city takes action against people who don't pay their property taxes or water bills. It is leading to people losing their homes. In this case, it's for a bill that was worth less than 1% of the value of his home. In the middle of the night, this is what the Brown family in Brooklyn woke up to. Strangers using power tools to try to get into their home, only to find later those strangers had a legal right to be there.
I don't want anybody to go through what I'm going through. It's more than I can bear.
Fillmore Brown bought his home back in 1996, worked 7 days a week for more than 2 decades to pay it off, only to learn it was sold out from under him.
It's rough. It's tough. I cannot eat. I cannot drink. I cannot sleep. I cannot stay at the house.
That was your American dream.
That was my dream, only dream.
Back in 2019, Brown had just finished paying off the mortgage, but says he didn't know he had an unpaid water bill for $5,000. Did you know that you had an outstanding water bill?
No. If I did know, I would pay just as I paid the balance.
Here's what happens in New York City with larger unpaid water and tax bills. The city sells the unpaid bills to what's called a trust, which is a group of investors. It's then up to those investors to collect the money with interest. If the balance isn't paid, the home can go into foreclosure and be bought at auction. That's what happened to Mr. Brown.
It's stolen from me, and I need it back.
The city says they sent numerous notices warning him of a pending lien, notices Mr. Brown says he did not receive. Court documents then show the investors served someone at his home with papers in November of 2020 during the height of the pandemic that they were foreclosing. Mr. Brown claims he didn't get it.
I would pay it with no problem.
He lives on the top floor of his home and rents out the lower 2 units to other families.
He said he didn't know anything about this, and I believe him.
The attorneys working on his case say he has paid thousands of dollars in taxes and water bills since then.
He just paid a water bill this year, in the thousands of dollars. So it's just heart-wrenching.
She says once his old bill was put into trust, it did not show up on his current bills. The 2 payment systems aren't connected.
There needs to be some notification that there's another bill out there to be paid.
The city's Department of Finance responded with a statement that reads in part, "Our goal is never to see a homeowner lose their property. Right. Last year, we implemented reforms to specifically prevent unfortunate situations like this from happening by giving property owners more time, information, and resources to resolve their debts." As for Mr. Brown, his attorney's now trying to get a judge to pause the case so she can explain to the court what happened. Do you have hope?
Yeah, I have hopes. If I didn't have hopes, I wouldn't be here today.
We will be following his case, and he's not alone. Just this year, more than 6,800 people had their water liens put into a trust for not paying their water bills. Our ABC data team found a majority of them live in minority neighborhoods. And Liz, some city council members are taking action. They're holding a rally outside of his home tomorrow. They want a public hearing to investigate what went wrong and a new bill passed to try to prevent something like this from happening again.
Okay, everybody, you saw part A. Stick around, part B, the commentary. Wow.